What's going on, everybody? Kennybomb is in the building, and Season 6 has been a rough one for Mortal Kombat 1. We started off with Homelander, and then we got some Earthrealm skins that were actually really good, but outside of a few patches, everything else has been pretty quiet. But that's expected to end in just over 2 weeks as I'm recording this video, because Takeda and Pharaoh will be released. But we need something to talk about before then. So this week, we're going to be talking about guest characters. Now, in a recent post, Ed Boon said this game will be supported far beyond Takeda's release. And if that's the case, a lot of characters will be added. So, I think we can afford some returning guest characters, but not too many. The rule for this video is we can only bring back 3. So I need y'all to give me 3 in the comment section, and I'm going to give you my 3 right now.
Run, boy, they coming on.
All right, full disclosure. Right now, I have no idea which characters we're going to go with. So we may end up with more than 3 checks by the end, but we can only leave with 3, so somebody's going to have to get the axe. Oh, and I went to a WWE show this weekend in Canada, so my voice is cooked. It might go in and out. Bear with me. But we're going to start off with the first character here, and that character is none other than Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger. My favorite horror villain of all time. Used to be tied with Chucky, but after his new TV series, yikes. Should Freddy Krueger return to Mortal Kombat 1? I say absolutely, but it needs to be Robert Englund. Now, I know this is the Freddy Krueger they were pushing at that time, but the guy never even got a second movie. So cancel Christmas on him, and let's make things right by getting our classic Freddy Krueger into Mortal Kombat 1. So I'm going to give Freddy the check. Now, the next character we have is Kratos. Now, I was an Xbot around this time, y'all. Still am, honestly. I mean, it is what it is. But they gave PlayStation a special character, and Xbox did not get one. Talk about feeling betrayed. I believe back in the day, somebody asked Ed Boon why the Xbox didn't get their own guest character, and he said there were a lot of factors that went into it that he could not discuss, something like that. So up until this day, I still don't know why we didn't get one, and it still breaks my heart as well. But you know what? Kratos is a great character. I loved God of War 1, 2, and 3. When I got out of the phase where I was strictly playing Xbox, I did go back and revisit all of those games, and I loved them. Now I play everything, and the new God of War games are some of the best. So I love Kratos as a character. Should he return to Mortal Kombat 1? You know what? I would love to see Kratos added to the game because, again, he is such a great character. He's such a different character than he was back then. And we look at the cameo system. I mean, it blows 2 spots, but Atreus on the cameo roster and Kratos on the main roster, it just works. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We have Predator. Now, y'all always cook me when I come talk about Predator, but we gotta talk about him. Just not for me. Not for me. I think Mortal Kombat X was the perfect game for those because a lot of people love Mortal Kombat X. A lot of people love Predator. And you know what? I'm gonna throw Alien in there as well. A lot of people love Alien. Mortal Kombat X was just not for me. Didn't like the look, didn't like the feel. The Predator movies, not for me. Alien movies, not for me. The only reason I even checked out the Predator movies was because he looks like Fulgore. But when I got in there and watched it, I'm like, this isn't me. I really don't like alien movies. I really don't like vampire movies. I don't like zombie stuff. All of that stuff just doesn't work for me, brother. So I am going to have to cancel Christmas on him. I can only walk out of here with 3 check marks, and we already blew 2. So Alien and Predator, sorry, you gotta go. All right, next one we have is Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Talk about a perfect character for Mortal Kombat. This is a big guy with a big old chainsaw. Do I need to say anything else? I think all of his movies bang as well. Even the bad ones, like the one with Trey Songz, loved it. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, man, I gotta bring him back. Now we have a problem because we got 3 checks on the board, which means we're gonna have to remove one or nobody else can get one. But this next one should be pretty easy because we have RoboCop. Early cancel Christmas on RoboCop. Now, RoboCop came out before I was even born, so I don't know. I think some of these guest characters they choose are pretty outdated. I would be willing to bet that a large section of this Mortal Kombat audience have never even seen a RoboCop movie because a lot of them were born during the 3D era, so they just won't get it. I'm not even one of the younger kids, and sometimes I don't get it. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one, and it's Jason. There is absolutely no way we can put an X on Jason. One of the best guest characters in Mortal Kombat history, one of the best horror villains in history, so I'm locking in Jason as my #1 pick for this video. But I want to see Jason X. They recreate movie scenes so good with these fatalities. They did it with Homelander, they did it with Omni-Man. I want to see Jason X in this game with the sleeping bag fatality. That's all I got to say. Let's go ahead and move on to the Joker. The Joker is definitely my favorite DC villain, one of my favorite DC characters, whether you're talking about heroes or villains, but there are so many DC characters. I don't know if we need to see him again in Mortal Kombat 1. If it happened, I definitely wouldn't be mad at all, but I'm going to go ahead and put the X on Joker. Harley Quinn has become a very popular character to the point where she gets her own movies. And people always complain because there are no women in these DLC packs, so I think Harley Quinn is a pretty good fix for that. And you can just add Joker as a cameo if you wanted to because he has a lot of different tools and I think you can make a lot of fun with him in that position. So we're going to put the X on Joker this time, but we're going to move on to Rambo. Now, he fits in that same category as RoboCop, a character that's kind of outdated. A lot of young people probably don't even know who he is. I've seen his movies on before when my dad watched them, but I have never sat down and watched a Rambo movie. So another character I wasn't really drawn to when he was added. So my boy Rambo, you are going to have to get the X as well. Next up, we got another one of my favorite characters in Spawn. I don't know if y'all have seen the Spawn movie. That is another one that's older, but Spawn, you know, he does his thing, I guess, in the comics. Spawn is a character you really don't see too much. I think they really do need to remake that movie, though, because it was very good, even the old version of it. Love Spawn to death, but you know what? Let's throw Spawn in Injustice next time. We can go ahead and cancel Christmas on him in Mortal Kombat, but I'll be honest with y'all. If he came back, I wouldn't be mad at all. Love this friendship, too. And then last but most certainly not least, we have the Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's really not a question for me. I'm going to say no. But would I put him in that same category as Rambo and RoboCop? I think it's fair. I think it's fair. But we got a problem, y'all, because we have 4 checks on the board. And as I told y'all before, we can only have 3. So if I had to remove one of these characters, I think the choice is pretty easy. Just because we pretty much got horror characters here. -1. And that boy is Kratos. As stated earlier, when Kratos was announced for PlayStation, I sat back and waited for that Xbox announcement. But it never came. And this brought me much heartache when this game came out. And because of that, I have no problem knocking Kratos off the board, saying he should never return to Mortal Kombat 1. So, we ended off with 3 horror villains, and I think we got 3 strong characters that could return. What do y'all think? Give me your 3 characters in the comment section, but don't forget to drop a like on this video because it helps me out tremendously, and smash that subscribe button because tomorrow we will be talking about new characters I would like to see join Mortal Kombat 1. Guest characters, that is. Bomb Squad, boof.